Okay, ready to roll. Good morning, artists. Happy Thursday. It's a very quiet day. It's rainy outside, but it's kind of peaceful at the same time. Dogs are already sleeping. Good. Maybe, I don't know if we'll get any visitors today or not. Wiley came down the other day. It's almost the end of the week. We've got our sculpture project due. I've seen a couple people starting to work on that and turn that in, which is great. And I look forward to seeing some of the stuff you guys came up with. And I hope you guys caught the RMS News shout out and saw some of the artwork already on display, which was so great that you're able to like show off some of your stuff since we can't hang it up in a school building right now, sadly. But we'll keep doing that. I'll keep gathering some really exceptional work to hopefully show off, and you guys keep doing what you're doing, and we'll just keep on rolling. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of drawing. I decided to put away the paint for now. It just kind of felt like a day to get out the regular old pencil and pen and go to town with that. So we're actually going to work a little bit on a series that I've been working on with you guys already. So let's get you turned around here. Whoosh. You remember these guys. Let me back it up so you can see a little bit. So this was the start of our series with our cool little sun and moon characters. Having a lot of fun with repeating patterns and this cool fringe thing and this really kind of, I don't know, just kind of fun and funky vibe. And that continued with our Mercury and Venus characters, which if you were watching for some of those, you know that I struggled with trying to decide what to do about Miss Venus's hair here. And ultimately, I went light. It just seemed like it would match better. It felt like going too dark was just going to be too different from the rest of her look. So, she and Mercury, all set and finished. I added some fringe on her. Pretty pleased with that. So now we're going to go into following our line in the solar system. It's time for Earth. Earth character. There's a lot of different ways that people have portrayed the Earth. A lot of times very motherly figures, usually very curvy, which is kind of like the one that I like the best is girl has a little more to her. But I don't want to go too crazy with it either. I want something probably a little more gentle. Let's figure out a head first though. Maybe she'll be on the shyer side. Most of my girls have been pretty tough and confident looking. So maybe she's a little gentler. Well, we'll think about that. In any case, hope everyone's doing pretty well today. Nothing too crazy to report. It's been a quiet couple days here in my house. Wiley got the zoomies for a little bit the other day. Just went tearing around the upstairs for a little bit. Got to play with him a little on that, and then he was done and tired. Rain makes everybody lazy, though. At least the dogs are not wanting to go and hang out outside too much, because that would just cause a whole lot more mud than we want to deal with right now. I'm not feeling that turned down face right now. Most of the others I went in with some pretty good plan of what thought I wanted to have behind them. So I wanted Venus to not quite be the same kind of goddess of love that she's mostly portrayed as. Just like I didn't want Mercury to be, I wanted her to be spunky, little and spunky. Earth is tough though, because everybody wants to make her into, you know, a Gaia figure, a Earth Mama. I want to try something maybe a little different with that. Just not sure what it's going to be yet. So we'll just get a skeleton going. It's going to be about the same size as Venus. I have a bit of a look in mind already. I've created a bunch of these little playing pieces based on an old Greek board game, and I'd actually created a little figurine. Here she is. Kind of an earthy feel to her. Oh, it's pretty far away. Maybe I can get closer if it'll focus well. There she is. She kind of ended up with some really cool hair, and she kind of inspired my moon lady a little bit. There's the back. Lots of jewelry, some fun stuff on her. So I kind of like that look. I'm probably going to use a little bit of that, at least with the hair. I really like the idea of the close kind of knotted hair. Should have brought my little posing figurine. Probably could have come up with something a little more interesting that way. Nope. I'm not feeling that, guys. I should have come up with a better plan. Come up with some sketches and stuff. Let's see what I can figure out. That's why we've got erasers. Maybe I should figure out is what kind of a hat she has. We've got all of these cool crowns and whatnot happening on all of them. Now, the symbol for the earth is like this. Plus sign inside a circle. So we'll figure out how to add that in as well. So just like Mercury, boom, boom, and Venus, boom, boom, Earth. So if we use that to kind of help us out, and just kind of peeking at some other statues people have made. Statues has kind of been where I've gotten a lot of my inspiration from. It's just unfortunate that most of the ideas for an earth goddess. Tend to be not quite as helpful as some of the other ones have been, really. Let's do something a little different then. I got an idea. Most of these characters I've been trying to create, I want to have a feeling of confidence too. It's a little bit turning in the same direction as Venus did. I don't want her to be too similar. That's better. They all got to feel a little bit diva, you know? If they're supposed to represent a planet, they got to be a little diva. Today's tea is a yummy chestnut. Oh, don't make the window too big. Sorry, I'm trying to manage my computer at the same time, but I want to make sure I get in here too. Hey, good morning, Kenneth. Finally got my chat back up. Now, as I said, I like the idea of my girl being a little bit on the thicker side. So we're going to see what we can do to kind of play that up a bit. Sun and Moon definitely came out very, they came out muscular. Venus is a little more slight. Mercury is a little Spitfire. She's got a little bit of muscle on her. But Earth gonna be my big girl. Now I won't be able to design her the same way I did on my little character, because she's got all sorts of cool rings and bangles, and we need to save some of that for like Saturn. But I think we can still manage to come up with something interesting. I'm liking this much better. This is why I encourage sketching most of the time, my students. I know some of you don't like it because you feel like your first idea always comes out really great and then you don't want to do anything else with it. But sometimes you need to do a fresh start and try something a little different. Kenneth, you've been following tutorials on character design. What kind of characters? I know you've got your very cool style with doing like the dragons and the ponies and such. Which I hope your convention went well that you were a part of. I saw your flyers and stuff for it. I wasn't able to come hang out, but I was thinking about you. Anime fantasy style. Ooh. That sounds fascinating. Are you following those on YouTube? And Skillshare, huh? Sounds like Skillshare supports a lot of creators and stuff on YouTube. I feel like I see them as sponsors quite a bit. These faces are too similar. It's basically a second YouTube, huh? YouTube for skills. Better. Just gonna keep adjusting, always adjusting. I'm making her eyes too big for some reason. There's a great one called Rose Draws. What does Rose Draws focus on? Is she the anime fantasy? All right, gotta figure out a headpiece for this gal. He talks about how people tend to overcomplicate their designs. Well, we're going to be super guilty about that. I always tend to overcomplicate, I'm sure. I mean, especially with these characters. These characters are in no way things that are going to end up being in anything that, like, repeating. Like, we're not making anything animated. We're not making anything like that with these guys. We're going to go with a modified earth sign here. It's going to be a little strange and wiggly. Yeah, that's true. Video games is a little different because the computer can then handle all the different designs on it. Let's see if this looks weird. I thought it might be fun that she has, like, a mountain on her head, but I feel like that's a little bit too much. That's a little too much. Overcomplicating, right? Let's calm that down a little bit. Tea break, tea break. This is a very bizarre little hat I've made for her. We'll come back to it. There's more to be figured out with that hat. All right. So going into the rest of this, they've all had some collars and some jewelry, some cool things that way. So let's see about what you're going to have here, Missy. Let me peek back at my inspiration over here, just to see if we've got anything. This girl's got some interesting designs on her. A couple things that can be considered. Go earthy and do some other kind of little geometric type shapes and whatnot. Could think about things that are on Earth that aren't elsewhere. Rocks happen everywhere. But then there's things like, could do seashells because there's the ocean. Could do trees. Maybe trees would be a better way to go. It's a little more earth feeling. In fact, let's grow our earth symbol on the top. And instead of circles, which we've already kind of used on our moon lady, let's turn them into leaves. And that can be our repeating pattern that we have then. So one thing I did learn on working on our Venus character is I had left out the fringe to the end, and then it just felt really awkward trying to find a way to fit it in. And I managed to get it happening around her skirt here, which I think came up pretty good, but the pen had a real hard time going over the colored pencil. So I have to be a little more careful about that, a little more aware of what I'm going to do when it comes to the fringe for the future. I'm going to take out that big round shape. I didn't like it anymore. I like the tree sticking out the most. All right. Now I've already had two, most of my ladies have had some kind of a split going in their outfits here when it comes to the skirts. All of them have that little side thing. Now part of that was because I wanted to try and do a little more non-symmetrical work, which is something that is tough for me because I very much enjoy my symmetry. So I'm trying to work on doing that a little bit less. It isn't easy. I definitely really enjoy symmetry for sure, but I really like the way that asymmetry can look. So we're it's tough, guys. I'm trying though. I'm trying something new. Yeah, Kenneth, whenever anyone talks about symmetry, they always talk about Death the Kid, and I've never actually seen the show that he's from, so I can never really comment to it, other than everyone tells me he loves symmetry, but that he also has like a very asymmetrical hairstyle. It's a contradiction. Actually, let's go a little crazier with this earring here. There. Or something bigger and crazier. All right, what am I going to do about this skirt? Let's give her something that kind of resembles a little bit of what our Sun Lady had. Since we've already established this semi-leafy shape, can sneak that in here as well. And then I start adding my overcomplications. Like toes. We're on that toe kick. Sorry, you guys can't see me drawing toes right now. Scooch. Even coming a little bit closer. It might mean moving things around a lot more, but at least then you guys can see what I'm doing as I start getting into the details. Oh no, I know you didn't mean anything, Kenneth, by the overcomplication. It's not. I'm not offended at all. I'm just incredibly amused because it's. I've kind of wanted to be able to do things like comics and stuff, but then I just don't end up having the patience for it, and I end up doing pictures that take a lot longer than I would think that they should. And then I just get tired. So I've done a couple of little like shorty type things, but that's been about it. So trying to sneak in a little hint of the same earth symbol here. While then creating a tree shape. This time it's upside down. Dun-dum. And that design's going to be very asymmetrical. Perfect. For my intended purposes. Yeah, Kenneth, I agree on that some designs are a little bit too simple now. It's hard for me to actually get into a lot of American animated stuff lately, just because the designs of things are so simplistic that even if the story is more mature or has more adult themes in it, just the fact that it looks so young, it throws me off. It makes me not want to watch it. I mean, I have plenty of friends and students who are really into like Rick and Morty, and I've watched them. I have my buddy has tried to get me into it, And I just can't. It is not for me. I mean, aside from a lot of the humor being rather off-putting, um, just the style of it's not for me. It looks simple. There's not much to the animation. I mean, that's part of what really drew me to anime in a way, was not only was the style different, but there was just so much to it, and sometimes such tiny little cool details that you could have. I mean, Sailor Moon especially being probably the one that I got into first, and just all the details of her outfits, and when she changed, and all the other characters and their designs. Just everything had such beauty and variety in it. That hand looks really awkward, but I'm not sure why. Anyway, I don't want to go into too crazy of a rant, because I know there's a lot of people out there who really enjoy things like Adventure Time and Steven Universe and Rick and Morty and Regular Show and all of that. And I'm not saying that, you can't enjoy it by any means. But if the style immediately puts you off, it makes it a lot harder to get into the show itself, because you are looking first and foremost at it. If you don't enjoy looking at it, you're not going to be able to enjoy the rest of it. So I think that's why some of them just, as much as people will tell you, like, oh my gosh, it's such a great show, like, no. The Colart style? I don't even know what that means. I'm gonna have to Google it. All right, gotta plan the fringe right away. Fringe is definitely going on the bottom of her skirts, just the bottoms though. That'll be nice. Still feels kind of plain though. We're gonna do these tight little curls up for her hair. Yeah, Kenneth, I agree. I tried to, again, I tried to get into Avatar, The Last Airbender when it was first coming out, and I don't know, I just never really had the opportunity to get into it. I was in college at the time, and that was right when anime hype was still really big. That was kind of the right when things like Cartoon Network were getting started. Anime clubs were all over the place. Things like Naruto were just starting. Dragon Ball Z was still on the air. So it was just, there was so much out there that adding Avatar was too difficult, I guess. I hear great things about it though, and it looked a lot nicer than a lot of the stuff we get now. I think it's tough now too, with everything going into kind of this computer graphic world. It's a little bit harder, I think, for people to get more detailed, because everything is kind of kitty looking almost. Sorry, I'm adding a couple little bangly things onto her ankles here. try to sneak this leaf pattern in here again. Actually, can we just do it? Yeah, let's just do that. Airbender still holds up. That's good to hear. Boo, 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 boo. What else? Girlfriend still feels like she needs something. Got that fringe that we wanted in there. Got a little bit. We'll put more, we'll sneak more of that leaf design in here. It's fun because it can kind of be read as a leaf or even a raindrop. But what I think we'll do is we'll make them green. We'll make those green, and then the bands can be, they can be blue. Okay. Still not as thrilled about her face, though. The others have some very kind of distinctive faces, but I'm not as into her. We're going to experiment. I wanted to give her a kind of a softer look. Very rounded eyes. But then it seems like she lacked some intensity. That's getting better. It's just looking awkward adding that. It's a little better. I don't want her to have like too thin of an anime nose. But if I go too thick, then it just ends up looking a little too comical. That's getting better. I want to give her just the hint that she's got some cheeks, you know? I don't want it to be too crazy. But if I'm going to give her a wider body, she's got to have a rounder face. There she is. This one was tougher, guys. Most of the other ones felt like they came together pretty easily, but this one is giving me a bit of a run. But I think we're starting to get her now. Let's see. Oh, there we go. It's like, where did I put my pens? After this, it's going to be time to go and check school email, check in with everybody, see how the kids are doing, answer questions, record everything. We have to keep track of every time we talk to anybody. Don't worry, I have a color-coded spreadsheet. I'm very good with spreadsheets, and I am excellent with color coding, as you could imagine. And after that, it'll be time for homework. Oof. Told you guys I spent most of last weekend either with a horrible headache that kept me down for all of Saturday. And then on Sunday, I wrote a 17-page paper, my final exam paper, which I haven't seen the grade yet on, but just saying, it better be an A. Just saying. But as soon as one class ends, the next one begins. So now I've got to go and do some homework for my new class. Too bad we couldn't even get like a little break. You guys will at least get the summer off. Not me. We get 1 week break right around the 4th of July. And then the rest is right back into work. It is grueling. But it'll mean for good things in the end. That one came out a little weird, but it's alright. I'm gonna make it work. We're not going to get overcomplicated in these designs. We want them to resemble leaves, but not be so much like every indication of a leaf either. We'll just leave her with one earring, I think, for now. Maybe if there is another one, it is too tiny to see. Probably not going to finish up all of the inking today, though, since she took a little longer to design than some of the others have. So we'll be doing a little inking tomorrow then, probably. We'll see. I finished up. I know yesterday's stream got kind of messed up. Our internet actually died. So I did finish doing all the painting on just regular video. And it's taken a little while to get that video sent to my computer, so I'll be able to edit together the pieces from the stream and the pieces that I had to just record. So if you're interested in seeing the finishing of the rock painting that I did yesterday, that should be up later today, I hope. And then get this one up as well. I actually took the rocks out and hid them in the park near my house. So we'll see if those stick around for a while or if someone will find them. Probably not for the next day or so if it's going to be raining like this. We'll have to be patient and wait before we go out again and hunt and see if anybody found them. Haven't had a chance to go by the other park to see if the ones I left there were picked up or not. We shall see eventually. I would like to think somebody found them and got a kick out of them. And hopefully will with the others. Maybe have a little bit of a little mystery in the neighborhood. Have to be sneaky, make sure no one else is out walking when I do it. Can't give it away. I think she's looking pretty nice. These trees are a little bit harder to outline. Making them is such a fluid thing that going back over them with the pen feels a little odd. Because I'm so used to just kind of making them. Well, it's working. Nice, 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 nice. I think because this one goes behind these branches, though, we're not going to be able to put all the leafy designs in. I'll think about it. It'll be tricky. It'll be tricky to color then, too. Not that we mind tricky. Yay. This has been a nice, chill little day, guys. Nice little character creation. It's looking pretty fabulous. I like it. All right, I think we're going to take a little break there, though. It's a good stopping point. And we can continue working on her tomorrow. Let me turn you back around. Whoosh. Hopefully without turning anything off. Line it up right. There we go. All right, so that's it for our Thursday, and then Friday tomorrow. Try to still make it feel like it's a work week and then a weekend, which has been kind of a good way to keep our sanity going, is to think like we're doing work during the week and then kind of get to sleep in a little bit on the weekend, which I hope you guys are trying to keep up to some kind of a schedule. It's definitely helped our household here to have a set wake up time and a set time we go for walks and all of that. It kind of keeps the day uh, feeling like it's moving along really well. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's stuff on Friday, tomorrow, getting your projects turned in, and then we'll have a new assignment next week. We're going to go back and do a little fun drawing assignment that I've picked up in my internet hunting for new projects for you guys. So I think you'll like it. It's going to be a pretty interesting one. So in the meantime, I hope you all stay safe, that you are washing your hands, that you are making and wearing your masks, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Have a great day.